Hello, everyone, and welcome to the City of Brisbane Park and Rec Commission meeting. Wednesday, September 14th at 6:30. A little late, we're starting at 6:37. This meeting is compliant with the Ralph M. Brown Act as amended by California Assembly Bill number 361, effective September 16th, 2021, providing a public health emergency exception of the standard teleconference rules required by the Brown Act. The purpose of this is to provide a safe environment for the public, staff, and commissioners while allowing for public participation. The public may address the commission using exclusively remote public comment options. The commission may take action on any item listed in the agenda. The Park and Recs Commission meeting will be an exclusively virtual meeting. Members of the public may view the meeting by logging onto the Zoom webinar listed below or on Comcast channel 27 and the city's YouTube channel at http://www.youtube.com/BrisbaneCA. The agenda materials may be viewed online at www.brisbaneca.org/meeting. Join the webinar at www.brisbaneca.org/park-rec-webinar. Meeting ID number 920-4174-1911, passcode 123456. To address the commission, members of the public are encouraged to submit written comments before the meeting. Members of the public who join the live Zoom webinar may address the commission in the meeting when called upon by the chairperson. Please use the chat box in Zoom to alert staff that you want to address the commission. Members of the public watching the meeting on YouTube or Channel 27 may email their comments prior to the start of the particular agenda item to the below email address and text line. Email jbondoc@brisbaneca.org or text 415-519-9588. A call-in number is also available for those watching the meeting on YouTube or Channel 27 for oral communications and public hearing items. Phone number is 1-253-215-8782. Meeting ID number 920-4174-1911. After entering the meeting ID and pressing pound, simply press pound a second time to enter the meeting waiting room. No participant code is required. Please wait to call until the chairperson and/or staff announces that the phone line is open. When you are led into the meeting, press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself before addressing the commission. To avoid feedback, please turn off the volume of the meeting broadcast on your TV or computer. You will still be able to hear the commissioners through your phone. Special assistance. If you need special assistance to participate in this meeting, please contact the Park and Rec Department at 415-508-2140 in advance of the meeting. Notification in advance of the meeting will enable the city to make reasonable arrangements to ensure accessibility to this meeting. And now I call to order. And I need a roll call.
Okay, let's do it. Starting off with Chairperson Greenlee.
Here.
Commissioner Comerford.
Present.
Commissioner Kern.
Present.
Commissioner Ocampo.
Present.
Commissioner Sewell.
Present.
And Commissioner Sims.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, adoption of the agenda, deletions, additions, or changes. Anybody want to adopt or delete?
I'll adopt the minute. I'll second.
Okay, the adoption has been accepted and seconded.
Okay.
We have, oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Lisa. So let's go through a roll call again to adopt tonight's agenda. Chairperson Greenlee.
Oh, I guess I say A.
Yeah, that works.
There you
Commissioner
go.
Comerford.
Aye.
Aye, that's the word.
Commissioner Kern.
Aye.
Commissioner Ocampo.
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell.
A and I.
That's the spirit. Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, any citizen communications?
Oh, let's back up and approve the minutes, Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed approve the minutes, sorry. Okay. Approval of the minutes, July 13th, 2022. There's the attachment. Do I hear approval?
I move to approve.
I'll
I
second.
Okay,
Okay.
we have moved to approve the minutes from July 13th. So we'll start with Chairperson Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Comerford,
Aye.
Commissioner Kern.
Aye.
Commissioner Ocampo,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
and Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, and now, citizens communications. Are there any citizens communications?
We do not have any tonight.
Okay, moving on to presentations. We have a sports program presentation.
Yeah, so I will just quickly introduce and hand it over to Ricardo Monroy, one of our recreation coordinators.
Hello. How you doing, Tom? I don't think we've met. Can I share the screen? I got some pictures. Ugh. Awesome. Can everybody see that?
Yay!
Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and start with our adult sports, which these are our adult softball champions for the first year. They were a new team. They were a all Latino team from Nicaragua, and they ended up winning the league this last summer. So this is them. We had 2 softball seasons. Each season had about 6 teams. We had a scorekeeper, our younger scorekeeper. He was a Littman kid, and he turned out and worked for us, and now he's going away to college. Now I'm training his younger brother to be the scorekeeper for the softball league, so we're kind of all keeping it together. Our softball league consists of usually 6 to 8 teams from all around the peninsula. And yeah, that was them. For other adult sports, we tried pickleball in July. It was somewhat of a success. A lot of the pickleball questions were if we were ever going to get permanent courts in Brisbane. And I said, maybe, I don't know, but maybe that's left for discussion. What else? Yeah, for adult sports, we did a cornhole league. And that was also a success. We had about 8 teams participate. That's about 16 people. We had music. We had free craft beer that was supplied by Fort Point. It was all under the gazebo. It was a good time. I think our next one is going to be in November, right before Thanksgiving. So we'll look out for that. For now, we can move on to our adult kids sports. So this year was a little different. We usually participate in the North County Recreation League, and that consists of 9 Bay Area middle schools from Burlingame, Hillsborough, Pacifica, Brisbane, South San Francisco, and Millbrae. Since the pandemic was still going on, we couldn't really participate fully with all of the other schools. So we kind of ended up just participating with South San Francisco, Millbrae, and San Bruno. And this is a picture of them doing a 3-on-3 league. So this was right after the Olympics. And in the Olympics, they did a 3-on-3 tournament, and it was a big hit, and we figured it would be popular with the kids. And it was. I mean, they only played about 8 games before we got shut down again, but it was super fun, and it worked out. So that was that. And then after that, I think the next sport up was elementary school basketball between March and May. That's these guys right here. These are our 5th graders. They participated with San Bruno and Millbrae, and they played a 9-game season. this time. Super fun. The kids had a great time. We had 2 teams. I coached one of the teams, and one of our rec leaders from our after school program coached one of the teams. I think his team went undefeated, which is always fun for Brisbane. Yeah, it was a great time.
How often do they practice?
How long do they practice?
Yeah, how often?
They were practicing 3 times a week.
That's awesome.
So it was Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and then their games were Saturday mornings.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And these are, you said 5th graders?
yeah, 4th and 5th.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and they played in San Bruno at the Parkside Gym.
Okay. I
Yeah.
remember my nephews doing this. This was, they loved it.
And then our baseball season, which was a huge success. This was kind of surprising, and it was right after we got the okay for, after the pandemic. And this year we had 1 T-ball team. We had 2 of the 1st grade through 2nd grade teams. Each team had about 14 kids. We had our Brisbane Pirates, and then we had our the older kids, our middle school team, which is a new team for this year, which was the Brisbane Bandit. All of these teams were amazing. They had a great time. The coaches were either a mix of parents and volunteers. They had a great time.
Who are the Rattlers?
The Rattlers are our team.
T-ball?
No, the Rattlers are a level above T-ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the same as the Dragons. This was another team that we had to add. We had to make up names. So we asked the kids what what team name they wanted. They wanted the Dragons.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's really cute.
And then Brisbane Pirates.
A pirate.
No.
Pirates won the championship this year in South San Francisco.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
which is-
funny, has a Boston B and a Pittsburgh B.
Yeah. They beat, I think it was 12 teams in their league. And Brisbane is such a small town that we barely always have just enough kids to have a team. And they crushed about teams that had about 14 kids on each team.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Good coaching.
Yeah,
Right.
the coaches were great. Jason Lapano is, coach of the year. He brought these kids together.
Look at them. That's wonderful.
Tomorrow during city council, they're getting, they're going to get some credit, and they're getting their trophies and getting pictures taken. And they're going to be, I think there's an commendation coming for Jason for being the coach. So it'd be fun for them. The future, we're working right now with NCRL still. And I think we're in talks of creating a bowling league for the kids. We're going to do a track team. The coach for Littman is a track coach. So he wants to put together a Brisbane track team. And we're also working on a wrestling club. We're going to have a wrestling team for Brisbane. So that's pretty exciting. And then coming up, with NCRL, we should be having full-on leagues, participating with Pacifica, Hillsborough, and Burlingame for middle school, which is exciting. We haven't done that in the last 2.5 years now. So it'll be great. And yeah, that's it. Sports.
Well done. Thank you, Ricardo. And just so you know, I did attend the pickleball event. And
Yeah.
Ricardo was nice enough to say, "Hey, I'll play you." He's kind of a shark, guys. Watch out for him.
No way. No way. You were good, Frank.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to cover the next pickleball thing. So I keep hearing great things about it.
Yeah.
But don't we have a pickleball group that shows up on Fridays? Is it Fridays or Thursday mornings?
They did it once or twice, but
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah. It's just
So
I
what-
work.
in the
So
morning, here in Brisbane.
Yeah. But when we had an actual league, who were we playing? Just each other?
Yeah, we were playing each other, and we had every Thursday in July.
Every Thursday in July.
Yeah.
And how did that work out?
It was okay. Towards the end, it kind of died out, and then we tried to keep it going in August, and then people stopped showing up.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. So I did see that on, I think it was the same night, it was Thursday nights, there was somebody that was setting up a disc golf basket
Mhm.
out at Littman on the field, and they were practicing their putting. And then people started going to that and practicing their putting out there. So I figured maybe we do a disc golf club out here.
Well, I've had conversations with people in the public who are very interested in that.
Mhm.
And I just have trouble figuring out where to put it because it is flying discs going through the air. Usually it's done in like a forest, or an area that's not well, populated. And I just can't figure out in Brisbane where that would be. If anyone has any ideas, let me know.
Yeah, I would
The
have
one
to.
I've done was in a humongous park, and you're right, it was in a forest. Like it kind of zigzagged in and out of a forest.
Mhm.
Right, right.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of hard to imagine where in Brisbane.
But there's several people in town who do practice at Lippman. They come out with their discs and they practice.
Mhm.
And they're very nice people, and I appreciate them doing it. But if anyone else was on the field, they'd get clobbered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if anyone has any ideas of any unused space, I thought maybe we could do something on the Quarry Road Trail, but then there's people who are walking and jogging and whatever through that trail. So
I think if I did it here, I would reserve the field for that time. And the only way you can get on that field would be just to play disc golf. And you would be paying attention to where the discs are flying.
Yeah. Nope, good
Yeah.
idea.
yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great if that could be set up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, let's explore how that could happen because I know there are several people in town who are big devotees and I'd like to, make them happy. But
Yeah.
also with the pickleball, do you think permanent equipment is in the future or not?
I know if we had it, people would definitely come.
Okay.
That is their biggest gripe with, the lines and playing an actual game and not worrying about stepping on or the wind kind of blowing everything all over the place.
Well, we can't do anything about the wind,
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Well, I guess, do you have it, is it set up that like the nets blow and the lines blow?
Yeah. Everything.
Both. Yeah,
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. So I think there's like, I think if you had more permanent equipment placed, then you do a little bit about the wind.
Mhm.
oh, I see the problem.
Right.
I
Okay.
just left my kids with Coach Joe. I just picked them up, and I get an earful about the court needing repair, and if that's happening, if it's in the works, then maybe we can reline it with pickleball and bring that in at the time.
Well, I've
How-
seen it done. I've seen it done with regular tennis courts where you have one part pickleball and one part regular tennis. It can be done.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
I have heard tennis players get a little miffed. So no surprise, there's a little bit of a competition for territory. So I guess that's just one thing to anticipate. I've heard
But we do have two.
different communities have had trouble with this. Go ahead.
We'll do
Yeah,
a
but-
competition.
We do have two tennis courts. We have one at Mission Blue and we have one at Lippman. So I'm thinking between those, is it 4 total tennis courts? Maybe one of them could be 3. Oh,
There's-
3.
2 at Lippman and 1 at Mission Blue, but the ones at Lippman are district property, not city property.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's only one tennis court up at Mission Blue?
Mhm.
Hmm. Okay. Well, we'll have to study that. I really would like to see something happening because I know that pickleball leagues are really big, and if we had a facility, we would have people come and use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to Tom's point, if we're going to do any sort of painting, let's go ahead and make sure that this gets incorporated into that plan. Because you can buy a net separately online. You don't have to buy everything as a set. So it's like if we had the lines, people would bring their own net. I mean, to be honest, Ricardo knows with the wind, the lines. Maybe that's how you won, actually. Anyhow, but the lines do blow around, and it's very, very difficult to stay on top of that. So it's like if the lines were painted and all you had to worry about was the net, it suddenly becomes a lot more appealing. So, Tom, I think that's a great idea.
Access for everybody. Right.
There you go. That sounds great. Okay. Shall we move on? Are you done with the sports presentation?
Yeah. Any more questions?
Any more questions?
No, look, the little kids things look great. Thanks for sharing those.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ricardo.
And I'm really excited about possibly getting into other sports. My son was really interested in track way back when, and I had to take him all the way to Woodside to run track because there was nothing here.
Yeah.
And the rec department, when they did do track, they didn't want to coach it. So they said, yeah, we'll have a track team, but there's no practice. We just show up at meets. And it's like, that's setting kids up for disaster. You've got to practice. So if you have a good coach for that track team, it'll make all the difference. And there's a lot of kids that just love to run.
Exactly.
So there's that. And what were some of the other sports you're thinking about?
Bowling.
Can we have that for adults too? That would be fun.
An adult bowling league.
Yeah, the Brisbane team. Okay. Very, very cool. Yeah, because all kids are not all good at every sport, so to spread it out a little bit. But I'm really happy with the success that our teams have had. Oh my gosh. You think the difference is good coaching, don't you?
Yeah, it's coaching and the parents being involved and just creating a community. And, everyone being involved with the team. Like everyone gets a hat, everyone gets a shirt. So they have ownership of the team and they love it. I have a video of them hitting the walk-off run in the championship, and you just see the parents just as excited as the kids running around and jumping around. So, yeah, I think just building that community with everyone on the first day is a big deal.
And that adult team, that's amazing. They did that in the summer. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to all. That's fabulous.
Cool.
Okay, so moving on to old business. Event debrief, concerts in the park.
Yeah, so we have Jeff with us tonight, and he can provide some information as far as a debrief from this summer's season, but the subcommittee is also welcome to jump in and give their thoughts as well.
Did we lose Noreen?
Can you hear me?
We
Barely.
can now.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'm turning it over to Jeff.
Okay, good. Thanks.
That's what I thought. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jeff Franco. I'm a recreation coordinator with the City of Brisbane. I was one in charge with the commissioners in creating this year's Concerts in the Park lineup. This year we had 5 weeks. We had 4 concerts and 1 DJ dance party. I'll just go over the bands we had again. So all of our concerts were on Sundays in July this past summer, starting at 2:00. We had July 3rd, we had Pop Fiction, which was a party music band. July 10th, we had Native Elements, which was a reggae band, and I'll come back to that Sunday in a second. July 17th, we had Electric Rodeo, country band. July 24th was our DJ dance party. That was sponsored by the Brisbane Lions Club, and Lion Sharon was our DJ for that event. And then July 31st, we had Club 90, which was 90s music, close out our concert series for this summer. We were lucky. I think the first Sunday, July 3rd, we knew it would be maybe a little less attended just because of the holiday weekend. And that was the only weekend where it was a little bit colder. But outside of that weekend, we had really great weather for all of the Sundays. So we lucked out, like summer in the Bay Area, we definitely got nice weather. The second week, July 10th, Native Elements. For July 10th, we also had, we worked with Lisa from the local business, the Mademoiselle. She sponsored and led a wellness event fair that week, and where she had a couple other local businesses as well as other local wellness vendors to have booths out at the park to give information about what they were all about. And that week, we also sponsored a rock climbing wall. So that week, July 10th, Native Elements, well, they bring a crowd to begin with. So with that, on top of the rock climbing wall and the wellness fair, it was by far our biggest concert in the park that I know to date, and then from other people in town, like that people seen. So it was very successful. For me, like I was kept moving around, kept like making sure everything was going in line, but it went off without a hitch, and everybody had a great time.
The music was really great that day. I live right by the park, so I get to hear all these without even going down. It was that was super fun music. So
I only heard good things about positive things about all the music. A lot of people really liked Electric Rodeo, the country cover band. We had a couple years ago, like an up and coming country artist come and play, but the music wasn't familiar, so it wasn't as big of a hit. But having familiar country music was definitely something the community liked, and I definitely heard good feedback about that concert. They liked the variety.
And Jeff, I will say I was a doubter on the reggae and the country, and both times I think people really liked it. I felt like the reggae was one of our most popular sessions, so that was great. I thought all of the music was great. I will tell you the one piece of feedback I had from the community is just about the time. I know we've gone back and forth on, but it was basically that they'd like to divvy it up between having it on Sunday afternoons and the evenings, like I think Friday evenings it was, because it's better for the businesses too, and for some of the folks it's actually makes it easier that they can go.
No.
So that would be my recommendation for next year.
I wonder if I was at the same place you were when that feedback
Yeah,
came through. I heard exactly the same thing. It was actually from I think it was a different place.
That's definitely something that I heard as well, and something for us to bring up at our kickoff meeting, our subcommittee meeting, that to talk about, because I do see benefits, well, pros and cons to having it on one day for the summer, like for the summer, or Friday nights or Sundays, and then there's pros and cons if we split it up. Just sometimes people might not know, is it Friday night this weekend or is it Sunday? So it's definitely something to discuss. With that, well, I'll mention, come planning, I'll want to do a summer concerts in the park subcommittee meeting just into the new year. So in January, just so we have plenty of time to potentially brainstorm like what worked and what didn't work, because this was our first summer on Sundays. So I know we have things to talk about there. As far as donations, we still didn't quite hit our average goal for donations from the community and businesses. So I have some ideas of, it might be just because we were still coming out of tough times, and like we still had community members, but just not as many businesses as usual donating. So it might be more follow-up for next year, or maybe next year they'll be in a better place to be able to donate to our community event. But I definitely have other ideas that we can talk about in our subcommittee meeting to help with fundraising as well.
Well, I went to the event that had the vendors at it because I had been notified by the vendors that they would be there and I wanted to support the vendors. And then the concert was there and the rock climbing wall. It was like a little mini festival. It was fabulous. And I think combining, food and vendors, local businesses, whatever we can do, just makes it really more interesting and a lot of fun. So, whenever we can do, and I love the rock climbing wall. I don't know how we were able to afford that, but yay, So in your meeting, like however you can mix it up with that, I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, and I think you did a great job, Jeff. I attended the reggae event as well, and I was just surprised that there wasn't really an open spot on the lawn. It was just sidewalk to sidewalk with people, which was fantastic. I heard from Amber, the owner at Skin Body Zen, that she got a lot of traffic at her booth. It generated a lot of business. There were people lined up at almost every booth when I was there. So to sort of reiterate what Lisa just said, it was like its own little mini festival, and I thought it was really great. So job well done.
Yeah, one thing that we had talked about maybe having, I don't know if we would have like a little small fair like that concert was, but potentially highlighting different businesses or having a business in town sponsor each concert. So that could be a way for us to guarantee a little bit of sponsorship money, but then they would be the sole booth at the concert. So they would get, so that's something that we can discuss turn into next year, but that might be a way to figure out what price point to have a Brisbane business want to come, and they would have full reign of promoting their product or promoting what they do. And spotlight some Brisbane.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Well done planning that one. Okay, is that it for the concert?
That's all I have, unless there's any other questions or comments.
I think the only other comment I have, if I remember right, the Lions Club sometimes also has a barbecue around those concerts. Is that right?
They were at each concert cooking hot dogs, and they were basically giving away hot dogs at each concert. So yes, they weren't at our concerts over the September ones from the fall, just because it was still kind of too just after everything, and we were just coming back. But they were at each one of our concerts over this.
Yeah. And I guess that the only I just am curious for feedback to the Lions Club. Is that, do you find that to be helpful or kind of neutral, or what? Is there anything I could feedback to the Lions?
I would say it's something that they've always done, and people kind of come knowing that, oh, there's going to be hot dogs at the concert. The Lions. I think it's a good presence for them to have.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So that's I think a positive.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on, we're going to debrief the garden show. So I guess I'll do that since it was kind of my baby. The garden show came off again this year. I felt like it was building on the success of the first one. We got some good press out there. I still want it to be a little better attended, but it was better than the first year. We had more categories. We had prizes. The best thing that happened was the Chamber of Commerce sponsored prizes, which were gift cards to local businesses, and that was fabulous. So the first prizes in each category got a gift certificate, and then the big three, the Best in Show, Best Bloom, and Rare and Wonderful, those three big winners, they got gift certificates that were larger. And all in all, it was really great. People came and they did it. We also had, while we were there, we kind of had a little meeting about what we could do different next year, which, we'll be expanding. I think we might be moving it over to the library's community space, which will be, a little bit better lit and a little more pleasant. They have a nice outdoor space there that we could maybe use. And we're we're also thinking about possibly doing a garden tour, a Brisbane garden tour in the spring maybe, which is a different kind of fundraiser. But it would be, people going from, garden to garden of a list of people who would want to have their gardens on the tour. Maybe about 10 gardens, not a big deal. But everybody's nosy. Everybody wants to look at everybody else's garden. So that would be fun. Overall, I thought it was really nice. Everybody was happy and some of our really, really outstanding gardeners were just not in town. And that stinks. But I don't know what you can do about that, except that put the date out there sooner and have people just reserve that date. I also think it was a little late in the year, but that's always tricky depending on the weather. So the weather and where your garden's at. Anybody else have any comments about it?
Yeah, well done, Lisa. If anybody, I don't know who attended, but it was very, very nicely decorated. It was a great event. Yeah, it was just well done. I had a lot of fun with it. Well done.
Thanks.
And I loved it, Lisa. Like, it was such a fun event. I love the idea of a garden tour, and we'll be happy to partner with you, but just well done and kudos to making it all happen. Like, it was really special for me. And I'm surprised you didn't talk about the quality of the judging, but but no, it was great. And I think it's, such a good reflection of this community.
I love the kids. I heard that Milan, when she won the Jam Award, she was thrilled to the moon, and I thought including the kids and that was really special. Great job.
I would like to see more kids. I need to really push the kids. Yeah.
That jam was delicious too, by the way. Like, she should be over the moon, and I cannot have enough of that jam.
I wonder if Fluke had anything to do with that, but
Well, the jam category was really a hot item. That was really fun. And the tomatoes were amazing. I mean, it was really well received. I'm trying to think. I gotta say also, Sarah, yes, Sarah did an amazing job getting us really nice ribbons this year. We didn't have to do our dopey little ribbons. She got some really nice stuff. And staff was just great, set it up, no problems. Anyways, Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I would like to shout out though you, Lisa, because I could not have known about all of these various gardening categories without you, and this was definitely you brought it back to life. It's probably become one of my favorite events. It's just very calm day. Everyone's very happy. It was great to taste test. That was my favorite part. Julie and I got to try all of the tomatoes. And Frank won. Julie won some prizes, and Lisa won some prizes. So shout out to all of our wonderful Park and Rec Commissioner gardeners. Frank has an amazing barbecue sauce that he has to make for all of us now.
Oh, thank you.
No pressure, though.
It was incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I just was running some totals because I know last year we had a whole big list of categories and we kind of cut them down based on who had pre-registered. But this year we kept all of our categories. And so we had 12 base categories that people could sign up for. And we had at least the one with the least amount of entries was the youth one, like Lisa had said, and they still had 3. Everybody else had more than 3. So we had 36 ribbons to give out, and then the 3 extra special ones. So 39 total, which is amazing that 39 people were able to win. And then there were still even more submissions in all the other categories. And they were great too. It was just awesome to see it. I felt like it was a really fun and simple event to do, but it brings people a lot of joy, and
can't wait to see what we can do next year.
Yeah. I love the idea of a garden tour too. I think that will be super addition. That sounds like a great thing.
Yeah, and like I think we at our little meeting we talked about possibly having like some gardens would have like tea and snacks, and some would have like little treats, and they talk and share about their garden and answer questions. Just kind of get to know how they went about setting it up. So.
And again, we were thinking about partnering with the chamber to maybe make it a fundraising event for their scholarship fund. Anyways, yeah, that I think will be a really fun event. And just Brisbane's a pretty green community. There's a lot of really knowledgeable growers of all kinds of things in this town. And the judging this year was a lot of fun. I was a little panicky because one of my judges dropped out right at the last minute, but Sue Cochran stepped in and then everybody helped. Anyways, it was great. So I can't wait for next year. We're just going to try and be, positive and just build on what we've done. And I think we're getting a feeling more about what worked. Okay, so moving on, let's see. Needs assessment survey results discussion and next step.
All right, so hopefully my internet doesn't freeze. If it does, we'll just take a quick pause and I'll hop onto my phone and off of here. So I'll put that disclaimer out there. But the intent for tonight is we've already kind of had a preliminary conversation regarding the needs assessment survey results. The commission had requested to consolidate some of those results and group them into categories underneath each question. So we've gone through and done that. But I wanted to make sure that we really honored everybody's responses and that they were still captured. So you'll notice on some of the questions, it was more challenging to group like answers where they may not have existed. So I left that in there just to honor the responses that we received from folks. So I can share my screen and we can go through. I think the last time that the commission talked about this, they felt that it might make the most sense to bring these conversations to a more structured environment at the subcommittee level to focus on, program improvements or facility improvements. So I definitely echo that sentiment. I think it might be a little bit more productive to have those conversations in smaller groups and then bring them back to the larger commission as it makes sense to do so. So I think if we can get through and kind of prioritize a couple of things this evening and schedule a couple of subcommittees between now and our next full commission meeting, I think that might make the most sense. So I'll quickly share my screen and try to go through as much as possible.
And Noreen, I just want to say, can I interrupt for just a brief minute? I have to board. The meeting doesn't have to stop, right? We have a quorum now.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Julie. Thank you.
Safe travels.
Safe travels.
Bye. All right, so the first question where we had kind of a grouping of responses was with regard to the trails that people were utilizing. So you'll see that kind of the peak responses were towards Crocker Trail, Corey Trail, all trails within town and San Bruno Mountain, and then some additional trails as well. Question number 3 asked folks to rate the top 2 where they would like to prioritize upgrades or enhancements. And the top ranking results were Crocker Trail and Quarry Trail. And then again, I left some of the expansive responses in there for future review, but I did group them by trails, facilities, and program suggestions so that when we take these to one of the subcommittees, it's easier to kind of dissect that information since it's already grouped. Question number 4 was with regards to the pool. Again, I grouped those responses based on input received regarding staff, programs, or general facility. So you'll see that there. Number 5, we asked about prioritizing enhancements. Again, I tried to group like answers some of them were like, yes, more pickleball, and others were just pickleball. So I went through and tried to find those similar responses and group them where it made sense to do so. And so there's 3 kind of categories beneath those responses, one for outdoor facilities, trails and open space, and then indoor facilities. And then moving on to programs. Question number 7 asked about programs utilized by individuals in a specific household. Question number 8 was about program-based improvements. Again, group those based on demographic and like responses. Number 9 was new activities and which might be most desirable. Number 10 was about youth and teen programming. Number 11 was about programming for youth under 12 years old. Lots of responses about youth sports you can see there, which is fitting given tonight's presentation. Question 13 was about adult fitness, community fitness programs. Number 14 was about whether or not residents would be interested in renting equipment, and if so, what type of equipment. There were a handful of responses that just outright opposed the idea, so I retained that input there. Question number 16 was with regards to how people receive information from the city. I feel like that's always helpful to ask to kind of gauge whether what we're doing is working and we're actually reaching people, or if we need to change our approach. So good information there. And then just suggestions for overall improvements. Again, tried to group like responses. And then number 18, which was the final question, anything to add, which was pretty broad. I grouped by affirmations, facility suggestions, and program suggestions, and event suggestions. So my thought was that, at least with the information grouped this way, it could be further dissected at the subcommittee level, but I will open up the conversation to the commission at this time.
Thanks for going through that exercise, Noreen. This is really helpful.
Sure.
Noreen, I'll confess, I haven't taken the time to go through the results yet. I need to do that before I can give any meaningful input. Sorry that I haven't done that.
That's okay.
Based upon the groupings here, Noreen, and I sort of say this tongue in cheek, it sounds like we need an immediate facilities subcommittee meeting.
Yeah, if that is the priority, then that is definitely one that we can prioritize between now and our next commission meeting.
No, it's Lisa and Tom, right? It's the 3 of us.
Oh gosh, I don't have that list. Where is it?
I have it.
Oh,
It's
here
in
it
the
is.
packet.
Yeah, I got the list. Let's see.
Facilities is Tom and Frank.
Oh, okay.
I'm in.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, you guys get to work.
So when we move down in the agenda to setting subcommittees, we will certainly do that for that one.
Well, I think this is a really great tool for setting, for coming back to again and again, for looking at to what the city wants us to be focusing on. There's lots of information in here about how we can do different programs and how we can work our facilities and how we can plan our events. It just is all in here. So this is a really great thing. Are we sharing this with City Council? Has it been shared with City Council?
It has been, and it's been shared with the public. It's available on our city website.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a great tool. Go
I
ahead.
think also it will prove to be I'm sorry, Lisa. I think also it will prove to be a useful tool stepping into budget conversations in early 2023. So it can help inform some of those conversations as well.
Yes, and I think that that's part of what, of course, is always frustrating about being on a commission is you have great ideas and you have great things you want to do, and then you run into the budget problem because, you know, we might have great ideas, but we can't afford our great ideas. But at least this gives us a little of support to say that, you know, the public's behind us on this and just move it forward. So well done.
Dorian, as we can move to start working in our subcommittees here, when is the budget, like the first round of budget drafted, and then when is the budget officially approved?
So the budget usually is adopted by City Council like May, sometimes early June, because it goes into effect July 1. But that process typically begins like February, March timeframe with staff internally. And then in the past has come to the commission around the March, April timeframe.
Yeah.
So we'll make sure that's on the commission calendar for next year.
You know, and I guess I will say that just looking at some of the data, this is probably obvious to everybody, but like, for instance, question 3, like I see that, you know, like if we're going to focus on things, they lit the top 3 are community park, trails, and pool. But those are also the ones that are the most used. So, I think one thing just to just realize is that some of our data are kind of linked to other data. That just sort of, you kind of got to think about, well, what are the implications there? And the reason why I bring that up only is just that we might end up focusing on things and because of, like some people will maybe feel like they're not being listened to. I think that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, and there might be things that are just, you know, kind of emergencies, you know, like we really do have to fix something.
Yeah.
You know, and then that will take priority over. But I think knowing that this is what people have expressed, at least in this, we can look back at this and keep these things in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything else about the needs assessment survey? Nope. Okay, then let's move on to new business. City Council liaison meeting summary. I think I was in on that meeting.
Yeah, so Lisa and Frank had the opportunity to meet with the council liaisons, which we do on an annual basis to kind of share achievements and work plan and highlight things that are kind of time sensitive that are going on, as well as to conduct the selection for the volunteer of the year, which we're not going to talk about here because they've been sworn to secrecy until Day in the Park when the announcement is made. But Lisa and Frank, I don't know if you wanted to share with the larger commission how your conversation went with council members Cunningham and Davis, and just kind of key points that were discussed.
We ran through, you know, the park and recs, I guess the objectives and the program status on where we are to date. And the council members were very receptive to that. As per usual, the Parks and Rec staff hit it out of the ballpark, so that was a really easy report to give. And then we walked through at a very, very, very high level the needs assessment survey results and just sort of gave them some thematic things that we sort of extracted from that, primarily being around facility improvements, enhancements, and ideas, and then in general programming changes and updates. So it was a relatively straightforward meeting. We were reminded pretty firmly that we operate under a budget. So that was something that I think Lisa and I, you know, take away for us. But aside from that, it went well. Thoughts, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm just looking back at my notes a little bit. We did talk about when we took our facilities tour, how excited we were about the Marina Park area because a lot of us had just never seen it before. And Madison and Karen both agreed that it's a really great site, and they really are on board with helping the city do something with that site. And so it's on their minds. That was good. We also talked about the old community center and how, how that's going to get handled. It's a long process. They're just in the planning stages. So, we just kind of talked about that because that obviously needs to, it doesn't need to, but it's a facility that needs attention. And I just wrote that both areas would be great to develop, and the consultants' reports are pending. So that's kind of where we're at with both of those, and Mission Blue also. Mission Blue needs some major work. So we just brought up our facilities and some of the things that we've been looking at, and just to make sure that, these are things that need attention from the city and are going to need money. And so they all agreed that they know what's happening and they're working on it. So we put that forth. And the needs assessment survey, yeah, they just went through granularly, and that was good. So they know. They're taking that. Are they taking back that info to the regular city council, right?
It's not on a council agenda, no, but the information is available to them.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Okay, so that was that meeting. Now reports from the chairperson. That's me. I don't have anything to report. Except that, hey, I'm glad you all are here. And next is subcommittees. Derby Day in the Park. I was in on that one. Anyone else?
I was too, but I don't have notes with me. I left them in Brisbane. I'm out of town right now.
That's okay. Let me look in my files here. Day in the Park. I've got it. Okay.
I know we're talking about Hot Wheels. Lots of Hot Wheels.
Oh yeah, the Hot Wheels. Yeah, that
Big Wheels. Sorry, Big Wheels, not Hot Wheels.
Big Wheels for adults.
And then I do remember the budget for the pump track is out of reach.
Yes, that was the first thing that was brought up, that the pump track was going to be $11,000 to rent. Yeah. And it just was going to eat the whole budget. And even though it was really popular, we decided to go with more things rather than just one big thing. So,
is that a major increase year over year, Lisa?
Well, what happened was last year that we struck a special deal with that company. They were kind of passing through from one event to another, and so they kind of stuck us in and didn't charge us a lot because we were just kind of an add-on from their other big agenda. But this year to come all the way out with it just for us was just going to be a budget buster.
It makes sense. Okay.
So we decided to go with, let's see. Well, we talked about the budget. I think we're going to go with mini golf.
Yeah. Right. Mini golf. And I feel like we might.
We have vendors. We have lots of vendors. We have a Tahitian dance performance. We're going to have food truck, which is going to be panchinita, which is really good, Mayan Latin fusion, street style Mexican, and an ice cream truck. We are going to have music and bands, volunteer of the year, which we're keeping that. Then we're going to have the Derby, of course. We were talking about doing a bring your own big wheels for the adults. So after
I'm so in on that.
I know. So
you can buy them at Walmart. They're actually not easy to find. They can get kind of pricey.
Okay, so
totally worth it.
After the kids are done, we were thinking about doing a course down the same hill, maybe with a little more wave to it, and just let the adults loose on the top and see who comes down alive.
I think there may be some hay bales along the way.
Yes, hay bales. Hay bales are going to have
remember hay
And-
bales.
Right, hay bales.
And an ambulance present, please.
Well,
Exactly.
at least an EMT. Yeah.
Yes. So let's see what else. We're gonna have a derby workshop, of course, and the kids are gonna do the derby. The derby is, just a great event. I'm gonna actually make a special prize for the best designed car. Not necessarily the fastest, but the one that's just kind of the coolest. Like whoever does the most crazy decoration that, just looks like they put in a lot of effort, they're going to get a ribbon from me. Why not? We're going to have kids doing the pie eating contest, but we're going to do watermelon eating for adults.
Yeah.
So we changed that. What else? Let me see.
I should clarify that Lisa's ribbons aren't it's just any old ribbon. So
It's going to be a crazy ribbon.
People realize that her ribbons are very special.
Why are we discriminating adults with pies? That sounds
No, adults get watermelon, kids get pies. Just because
Oh.
I just want to see an adult eat a lot of watermelon.
healthier, that's for sure.
It's healthier. I don't know. So of course, staff has it all set up. They know how the tents are going to be laid out. They got, did they say 40 to 45 applications? Or they sent out 40 to 45 applications to the vendors to see if they could get vendors. They're trying to get new vendors. They've got a website for vendors. Hang on, I'm just reading my notes.
I think they're hovering right around 30 right now.
That's
Yeah.
not bad. That's
Yeah,
not
that's-
bad.
I remember him mentioning that he felt like it was a little early to be, like, vendors would probably start to apply after the meeting that we had. So
Right.
he was not worried at all about having enough vendors.
Yeah. And okay, so we couldn't afford the pump track, but we are going to do, what were we going to do what were we going to do? We're going to do some arcade games. I don't know about a jumpy house. I can't remember.
But we had Jumpy House, and then the mini golf course, I think, was the.
Yeah, the mini golf
But I
course.
don't remember is whether or not we were going to have a climbing wall. I think that was not clear to me.
Yeah, I can't remember if I don't have it written down that we have decided on exactly what things, but we're doing more things rather than the pump track. We really wanted the pump track. Pump track was kind of what we were aiming for, and it just didn't happen. So, so we went back, but will still be a really fun day, I think. And we're going to try and have good space for people to eat. We're going to have a beer garden, I believe. Let me make sure I'm not speaking out. We're going to have, okay, I wrote that we're having a kids fun zone. So that's probably the arcade games and stuff like that. Let's see. I'm pretty sure we're going to do the beer garden. We're going to have some adult drinking area, which we've had before, but we're going to do that. Tables and chairs under a tented area, local bands. Anyways, and late afternoon music, that was something that people wanted. I'm not sure if that's happening, but
Is the beer garden before or after the big wheel races?
oh, that's a good question.
Clarify that.
I think after, which I don't know if that's a good order or not, but I think it's after.
The Lions Club, of course, will have food. We'll have, I think we were going to go with music of a DJ. We're going to go DJ music.
That's what I remember.
Adult wine and beer, Lions Club food, and craft booth. So there you go. There you go. Anyways, staff has it way under control. We just kind of debated around, kind of the major events that usually happen. I wanted, at least me, I wanted it to be as fun for adults as for kids. I wanted it to be a big family fun day at the park. and not just the same old, same old. I want people to come out and have a good time. I want it to be a good event that people come to. So that's what we're aiming for. And I think staff is picking it up, and I think it's going to be, I think they're doing a good job. So as it gets closer, we will let you know what happens.
Sounds awesome.
It does, Lisa. Great job to the subcommittee in planning this one. Now, what is this about the big wheels? Like, I'm over here, you can rent them in Salinas. Do people actually own these in Brisbane?
Well, it's bring your own big wheel. Where you get it, I don't know. I don't.
I'm
Okay.
telling you,
We're gonna need
Walmart.
help.
Okay, look it up. Look it up, because I know Potrero Hill does a huge one. But you know, Potrero Hill does it through their neighborhood. Like they come down the hill in Potrero Hill, and there's lots of crashing and costumes, and it's just mayhem. And it's like people come from all over to do this. This is just going to be a small Brisbane version. And I think the first year it's probably going to be kind of a small event, but it still could be fun to watch.
I have to say, we have the hills. I mean, I feel like it could be epic if we just, I mean, right, think about coming down Kings and all, you're right.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
So fun. But yeah.
We've always joked about having an adult version of the Derby on the opposite side of San Francisco, down the hill by the garden,
Yeah.
which is quite steep.
That is so scary.
I think no matter what, if we do something for the adults, we're probably going to have some substantial liability waiver signed for participants and have our attorneys weigh in.
I already sent my
it's just
my
like-
waiver in.
There's a lot of experience with these big wheel derby things around the Bay Area. So we just need to figure out how to fit ourselves into the wheel. We don't have to invent the wheel.
Yeah, and we're doing a derby for the kids. So I figured we use the same hill, we just do a different course, and we just put it out there. And if people want to do it, you know, that would be fun.
The kids are gonna love to see that reverse. You know, for them to watch the adults go down. I love that. I think it's terrific.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Because I need to sign off pretty soon. I have
Yeah. Okay.
an hour ahead of you, so I'm running out of time.
Oh, darn. Okay, let's move on to the settings subcommittee meeting.
Yeah, so what I heard was one for rec facilities, which includes Tom and Frank. If you want to throw out a couple of dates.
What do you think, Frank?
Hey, Tom, I'm pretty flexible. So, you know, I don't know what your work schedule is like.
My it's more of the soccer coaching schedule on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They're pretty busy. Other than that, I'm flexible.
Why don't we, do you prefer Monday or Wednesday?
Either one.
Noreen, can we do something on the 26th or the 28th? Or actually, I could do the 19th or the 21st either. It doesn't matter for me.
26th or 28th? You said the
28th.
19th.
28th is a tough night for me.
Okay,
Should we make it the 26th?
26th.
Yeah.
What day of the week is that?
Monday?
Monday. And what time?
I'm on a art committee at 4:30 that Monday, the 26th. Starts at 4:30 to 6:30. I could jump on after that if that's not too late.
Not too late for me. Perfect.
6:30.
It'll be all about commish.
All right, we will confer with staff that works, and then we can send out the calendar invite.
Beautiful.
Okay, do we just go down the list? How do we do this?
Usually we just pick out the ones that we think might be I'm freezing.
Noreen, you're breaking up again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Usually we just pick out the ones that are more time sensitive. I definitely would recommend holding a Festival of Lights subcommittee meeting. That event is coming up quickly. Although the commissioners on that subcommittee are
They're not
Rudy and
here.
Julie.
Yeah, they're not here. And
So staff can reach out to them to schedule that.
yeah, that would be good. Is Public Arts Advisory, isn't that on a schedule already?
Yes.
Okay. Habitat Restoration, did that already happen?
Usually they meet towards the beginning of the year and then lay out the event for the year. We do have the coastal cleanup event coming up this weekend, but the logistics for that are already
Already done.
coordinated. Yep.
Okay. Recreation programs? Does that need a meeting?
It could meet and kind of dissect the information from the needs assessment survey, or we could wait until next month to conduct that meeting.
Mike,
Whichever.
who's on that one again?
Renee, Natalie, and Julie.
What did you recommend, Noreen?
That was recreation programs.
Oh, no, for the meeting, should we wait?
You could elect to wait to schedule a subcommittee meeting until our next full commission meeting, or you could try to squeeze something in between now and then.
Got it.
Up to you guys. Renee, do you have a preference?
I
guess I hate to procrastinate, so I'd probably rather get it scheduled earlier than wait. My preference.
That's fine with me as well.
But I mean, if you're too busy right now and need to delay, I'm not going to be the end of my world.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so who plans that?
So
You could either throw out some dates and times now, or staff can send an email to try and coordinate.
We could wait. We could have staff coordinate.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll follow up on that.
Thanks.
I think facilities did a recent thing. I don't think we need another facilities meeting right now. Do you, Frank?
You're not on the subcommittee anymore.
Oh, you're right.
are you?
I'm not. Oh my God, I thought I was. Sorry. Sorry, Frank.
No
Never
worries.
mind. Never mind.
You left us.
I
Just to
did.
be clear.
Clearly didn't want to.
But I'm invested. I'm invested. Okay, so so what do you think? Do you guys want to do another meeting, or you think you're good?
Isn't that the one we just scheduled?
Yeah, we just did that one, didn't we?
No, we just pick that one for Monday, the 26th at 6:30?
Yes, sorry. I'm screwing up.
That's
All
okay.
right, moving on to seniors. Do seniors need a meeting?
I don't think so.
Okay. Teen services, the youth advisory committee.
They had a meeting this evening.
Oh, good. Are we working with them? Do we need to work with them?
Typically, we only have like a couple of liaison meetings with them throughout the course of the year. I know we met with them a few months ago, or I think right before summer.
Right.
So,
Okay.
And they are just kind of coming back from their summer break and getting themselves situated for the year. So I might recommend holding off on that for a couple of months.
Okay. Trails development might need a meeting. We haven't done that yet, have we?
I don't think so.
And that one was pretty high on the needs assessment list. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, it's me and Frank and Renee.
Mhm.
So, can we have staff send out an email? That's best for me for planning.
It
Yes.
is for me too.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, will do.
And the Sierra Point Ad Hoc Committee.
We're working on scheduling a meeting with that
Okay.
subcommittee.
Okay. Anything else? Am I leaving anybody out? How about events? Is events pretty done for the year? I don't know.
I think you could probably hold off on that one for a month or so and then start forecasting for the new year.
Yeah, okay. Concerts in the Park is done. Beautification is just kind of out there. Okay. Well, that seems like it for the committees. For setting those committee meetings. Then the next thing on the agenda is commissioners. I don't know what that means. It says commissioners and then staff.
Whether there's any commissioner reports or comments that they want to add.
Oh, okay. That's what that is. Any commissioner comments? Nope. Okay. How about staff comments?
We have a few things. So we held a Friday night swim for teens at the pool last Friday night. We had over 30 participants. So that was great.
It was a hot night.
Yeah. We have our first parents night out event this coming Saturday for the season, for this fall season. I think we have around 28 participants signed up. As I mentioned, the YAC met today. They are officially up to 15 members.
Wow, that's a big group. That's
very
great.
exciting. Lots of interest in that group. So we're looking forward to see all that they will accomplish over the next year. We also partnered with an outside agency through the county to conduct a Get Appy Tech class for seniors, which we held last week, and we had several participants at the Sunrise Room. They'll be coming and doing various sessions throughout the fall for seniors on things like identity theft and how to use FaceTime and just kind of providing those technical training opportunities for seniors so that they have those resources available to them. And we held our first senior trip to Grayton last week, and we had only 4 participants, but Nicole graciously drove them up there, and they had lunch and spent the day, and they had a great time. So the next senior trip will be Roaring Camp Railroad on October 27th, and registration is open. We also have registration open for our upcoming seasonal camps during Thanksgiving and winter break. So anyone can go and register for those now. We have our lifeguard training class coming up November 18th through 20th for anybody who wants to get CPR, first aid, and lifeguard certified. We also have session 2 of fall swim lessons scheduled to begin on October 9th. We are kicking off officially the Sierra Point Open Space and Parks master planning process, starting with meeting with city staff next week, and we will be conducting a site walk similar to what we did with the commission when we did our off-site facilities tour. So looking forward to getting that process started, and the consultant CMG will be out to begin engagement with the community, and then they will also be meeting with the City Council Ad Hoc Subcommittee, which is comprised of City Council members. Our representative from Parks and Recreation is Trudy, so she will be involved in that kind of key stakeholder meetings, subcommittee meetings, a representative from Open Space and Ecology, and someone from the Public Art Advisory Group. So they will have a couple of meetings with the consultants, and then will further branch out into other key stakeholder meetings, which may include community members from the boating community out at the marina, the Sierra Point Yacht Club, business representatives, and so forth. So we anticipate that process taking about 3 to 4 months, but very excited to see what comes of it. So I wanted to update the commission that that is moving forward. And I think most of you have already registered for the Sacramento County Parks and Recreation Commissioners Workshop scheduled for October 15th. If you haven't already, but you would like to attend, there's still time to register. I can send you the link if you're interested. And then just upcoming events next Thursday at the park as part of the farmers market, we have a teen tie-dye pop-up event from 4:30 to 6. You're all well aware that we have Day in the Park and Derby coming up October 1st. We have our annual underwater pumpkin patch at the pool on October 5th. And we have our first annual Howl, Howl, Oween, costume party at the dog park on October 26th. So lots of events coming up for Park and Rec. And that's everything that I have.
Wow, that's a lot.
Wow.
That's so great.
Okay, we clearly underperformed compared to you.
Great.
We're like, no, we don't have.
We're
anything.
busy.
Right, yeah, no, fantastic.
Yep. Well, Park and Rec is just killing it. I love it. All right. Now commission matters. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any questions or anything else we need before we move on from this?
No,
Besides-
great job, Noreen and team.
Besides yay staff?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Commission matters. Are there any written communications?
No, not tonight.
Okay. And then commission calendar.
Just as an attachment in your packet, I believe it's the last page of the packet.
Last page of the packet. Well, I didn't print it out. Does anyone have that?
Yeah, so it just,
Go ahead.
go ahead,
sorry.
Frank.
No, I said I've got it in front of me. Go ahead, though.
It just denotes our next meeting will be October 12th. And the items that we have slated for that include a presentation regarding our aquatics programs, and then event debriefs from lagoon cleanup and Day in the Park and Derby.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, so I think we're ready to adjourn. Renee had to leave us. It got
I'm gonna
really
go.
late.
You guys, thank you. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, you're just in time.
I
You
know. Good.
timed it well. Okay, bye. So shall I call this meeting adjourned?
Yes.
Okay, meeting adjourned.
At
Thank you all.